Oh, yeah. Speaking of Tyrese Maxey, here is Ty Johnson news on 97.5 The Fanatic. Tyrese Maxey is a great Robin, but we learned this year he is not Batman. Let's see if we agree or disagree with this take.
And now Maxey can be a great Robin, but he is not Batman. And you saw it this year. Embiid goes down, and they lose every game. If Joel Embiid is cooked, then nothing's good unless they get the first overall pick. And the reason that is because we learned something about Tyrese Maxey this year. Something that I did not want to learn. Tyrese Maxey is Robin, not Batman. Now, in his defense, there's been 3-4 small Batmans in the history of the sport. Isaiah Thomas, AI, Curry. And that's it on winning teams. And AI never won a title. It's hard to be a smaller guard in the NBA and be the Batman. He's Robin. The problem is you can't build around Robin. Could you imagine?
Why not? You just listed players that teams build around and won a championship. You just listed 3 players that teams built around and won a championship, and then you said you can't build around Maxey. Why not?
It's hard to be a smaller guard in the NBA and be the Batman. He's Robin.
How do you know that if the team hasn't built around him? He's Robin because only 3 small guards in the history of the game have been a Batman. But the team was built around those small guards with interior defenders, defensive wings, catch and shoot guys, and facilitating point guards. And then you just said he's Robin. But how would you know he's not Batman if the team has never tried to make him Batman?
On winning teams. And AI never won a title. It's hard to be a smaller guard in the NBA and be the Batman. He's Robin. The problem is you can't build around Robin. Could you imagine if you went back through the comic books and they built the whole story around Robin?
Bro!
It would be gross.
They're not meant to carry the weight.
They wouldn't make the story around Robin because you know that he's Robin and you know the other guy is Batman. That's a terrible analogy. The only way that analogy would make sense is if there was 2 superheroes and you didn't know which one was which.
It would be gross.
You're saying you know that he's a Robin because you can't build around a Robin. This doesn't even make any sense.
They're not meant to carry the weight.
Robin has gotten Batman out of a lot of jams. But Batman's why you win. If you get Cooper Flagg, okay, he becomes the Batman.
You're going to automatically crown an 18-year-old kid Batman? And I love Cooper Flagg's potential.
For example. And now Maxey can be a great Robin.
Cooper Flagg, day 1, would be the number 1 option?
But he is not Batman. And you saw it this year. Embiid goes down, and they lose every game because it's not in Maxey's. He's just not able to do it.
See, dude, a whole minute and 26-second clip. You gave absolutely no reason why you're calling him Robin. And then when you got to the point where you were actually trying to come up with a reason why, you just said he can't do it.
And you saw it this year. Embiid goes down, and they lose every game because it's not in Maxey's. He's just not able to do it.
That's why they lost every game.
It's not in his makeup.
And Curry is the best shooter to ever live. That's what it takes.
No! That's not what it takes. It takes Draymond Green. It takes the second best shooter of all time to also be on your team, Klay Thompson. It takes size, defense. It takes one of the deepest benches in the history of the game, the 2016 Golden State Warriors. It's a team game. Do you think Steph Curry would have taken this 2025 76ers roster to a championship? Are you joking? Steph Curry in his prime would not take this Sixers team to a championship.
To be that, and he's not that.
Tyrese Maxey started this season thinking Joel Embiid was going to be on the team. They started the season without Joel Embiid. The whole system was built around Joel Embiid. Then they said, well, Embiid's not here. Everybody just go, score the ball. There was no system. There was no plan. What was he supposed to do with a bunch of G Leaguers and fat 40-year-olds? You can't just say because this terribly constructed team without Joel Embiid was losing a lot of games that Maxey could never be Batman. You can't say that. You would have to build the team around him, and you would have to implement a system that features him as the number one option. I'm talking getting him off of screens, going downhill, having a facilitating point guard to set up the offense a la Eric Snow and Allen Iverson. You can't just call him a Robin because of what happened in the beginning of the season. What happened in the Knicks series last year? Who was Batman? Who was Batman in the New York Knicks playoff series last season? Who dropped 47 in a playoff game and hit a damn half-court buzzer beater to send it to overtime? Tyrese Maxey. I don't understand what you're supposed to do with the situation, and then you're thrown out there and you have nobody. You didn't have Paul George, you didn't have Joel Embiid, you had nobody else on the squad, and then you're supposed to lead the team to a championship? It's a ridiculous take. You need a good team to win. Okay? Kobe Bryant in 2015, towards the end of his career, but he averaged 24 points per game, and the damn Lakers were like 10-70. There's an even better example. Michael Jordan in 1987 averaged 37 points per game, and the Chicago Bulls were below 500. Michael Jordan averaged 37 points per game, and the Chicago Bulls were below 500. I can't think of a better example of you need a good team. And trust me, people at the time were saying, Jordan can't get it done. Jordan's not the guy. They were saying the same exact thing these people are saying about Tyrese Maxey. They were saying Jordan's not the guy. He can't get it done. He's too selfish. He's a ball hog. All he does is shoots the ball a lot of times. He doesn't elevate the players around him. He doesn't do this or that. He doesn't make the team better. They were saying the same thing about him. Because who was on the team? And then he got the Pippins and the Steve Kerrs and the Tony Kukocs and the Dennis Rodmans and the Phil Jacksons. And they built one of the best rosters of all time, and they went 72-0. They won 6 championships in 7 years. It's a team game. That Michael Jordan, 1987 Michael Jordan, on this 76ers roster would have done the same thing. He would have averaged 37 points per game, and they would have been below 500. Prime Steph Curry on this 76ers roster would not take them to a championship. I get so annoyed at people looking at this as if it's a one-person thing and one player can take a team to a championship. And even when a player wins a championship like Michael Jordan or LeBron James, people will be like, oh yeah, well, he couldn't do it without Kyrie Irving. Well, he couldn't do it without Scottie Pippen. Well, he couldn't do it without... Then take his team away and see what... It's a team game! What are we doing here?